Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Rogue Agent Answers. My name is the Rogue Agent. Some people call me David Lewis, and every week I answer one of the many life insurance related questions that I've received from clients, from email subscribers on the daily email list, questions floated to me from across the interwebs, in the comments sections, which I know you're not supposed to read, or just interactions that I've had with people in real life over the past 20 years, which is a long time. And some of these questions I just scribble down on scrap pieces of paper. Some of these are stuff I've written down on my phone. Some of it is on Post-it notes scattered all over the office. And every week I answer one of those questions. So if you'd like to ask your question, drop them in the comments section or join my email list for more life insurance tips and advice at monogenics.com. monegenics.com. Also, keep in mind that nothing in this podcast is or should be construed as financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. In fact, nothing that I say in this podcast should be construed even as insurance advice, as I don't give individual advice blanket just across the internet, unqualified, to random strangers. So if you need any of that stuff, contact a licensed professional that you know, like, and trust, preferably someone licensed in your jurisdiction. And now for this week's question. What does the guaranteed purchase option mean? What does that, what is the guaranteed purchase option and what does that mean? Okay, that makes sense. Guaranteed purchase option means that you have the right to buy additional life insurance at regular intervals up to a certain age. And almost always this is done without additional underwriting. They don't bug you about that. So kind of think of this as insurance for your insurance. Or rather your, I guess, insurance for your insurability, I guess would be more accurate. Handy to have if you're very, very young. Otherwise, these options tend to be somewhat limiting in what you can buy, how much, et cetera, et cetera. So, for example, a life insurance company might restrict additional purchases to, let's say, like the 3rd, 6th, 9th, and so on and so forth, policy anniversaries. Sometimes they specify specific ages, like they might say, like, you can buy it on your 21st birthday, and then 23rd, 25th, or whatever. And then there's always a cap. So they'll cap you out. They'll say you can't buy you can't do any more guaranteed purchase options after, let's say, age 40 or 45. So they also contain special provisions that allow you to buy additional life insurance after certain key life events, like if you get married or have a child, and you usually have like a window before it happens. Most people know when they're going to get married. So they're like maybe 60 or 90 days before you get married, up to, let's say, 60 or 90 days after, and you give you a wide window where you could apply for more coverage and then get it without underwriting, which is kind of nice, especially if you're younger. So these typically, though, you find these provisions on juvenile policies. So, if you're buying insurance on a child or something, and then, they're still going to have max limits on the amount of the death benefit purchased. Maybe 150,000, maybe 200, 350,000 or whatever. Max limits generally are based on the base policy of the whole life policy, for example. But it could also just be a specific dollar amount. Some carriers just set a max dollar, say, like, we'll give you a max up to 350,000, for example, and then they just let you buy up to that amount in face amount in the future. So key thing with these is that you must use the purchase option on the dates specified, or you lose it. You can't go back and, I forgot to get one on my when I got married or whatnot. No, you have to do it within the window they specify. You can always buy more life insurance outside of the rider, I guess. You'd have to go through as long as you qualify medically, financially, and so on. But for the rider, you have to do it on those key dates. If it's like the 3rd anniversary or the 5th or the 9th or whatever it is, you have to do it on those dates. Can't do it outside of those. What the rider is doing is just allowing you to bypass normal underwriting requirements. So if you otherwise you wouldn't qualify for medical reasons, this is a way for you to get insurance without otherwise you would not be able to get it. Oh, anyway, I hope that answers your question, and I'll see you in the next episode.
Okay, that's it for this week's question. If you'd like to add your question to the list, just drop them in the comment section or send me an email. And if you want more life insurance tips and advice, just head on over to monogenics.com, MONEGENIX.com, and sign up for my daily email list.